All right, welcome back to Perdido Key Gaming. Today we got some more stuff. Got this in the mail. It looks like some sort of special edition Pathfinder 2nd edition Gamemastery guide. Nice cover on here by Paizo, right? Those people who used to be associated with Wizards of the Coast. And thought we'd take a look at what exactly this is. I can't remember. I think we did Pathfinder, the player's guide before, but looks to be just the usual typical dungeon master's guide. If it, if you want to go with that, I believe this is more of a European game, which is, always nice. You get a different perspective. Let's see. So the Game Master, how to use this book, choosing your tools. Remember the first rule, have fun, right? Got a lot of information about running encounters and improvisation and metagaming and portraying NPCs and let's see, initiative, the core rule book. I think that's what we looked at. So I wonder where I put that. I have to go find it. Yeah, I need to actually sit down and go through the rules here. I'm not real hip on the way it actually, if there's any system changes. This seems to be more of, not necessarily charts and dice rolling and things like that, but more, information on how to run a game, total party kills, can spell the adventure. Yeah, if some evil game masters and stuff will go out of their way to, kill the entire party, or, the idea is just to have fun, and it's kind of not fun. People want to be thrilled and everything like that, so there's no reason really, unless it's absolutely necessary to, because of something really freaking stupid in the game, to, actually whack a player. You always got to give a way out, in my humble opinion. So, gives basic structures of a campaign here: one shot, brief, extended, epic campaigns. So that's kind of fun. Adventure design, gritty adventure, high adventures, threats. Definitely got some of the old Paizo style artwork here, if you ask me. That sort of kind of punkish thing they had going on with 3rd edition, which, ooh, there's a nice little bookmarker thing here. It's kind of handy. Mark your page. Here's first chart you see, treasure by encounter, do they just get a chunk of gold and silver pieces, or do you give them, artwork? Tools, you got building creatures, levels, of course, perception, skills, safe items, hit points, that's still around, strike damage, some sort of warrior dog there, maybe. All right, so now we get into the traits and abilities and things like that, and class roadmaps. Got your typical D&D ones: barbarian, alchemist, champion, cleric, war priest, druid, fighter, monk, ranger, rogue. Class abilities, building hazards, traps, of course, sample hazards, brown mold, yeah. Let's see, And this is only chapter 2. Magic items, of course. Difficulties, item quirks. That's always kind of fun. Put the quirks in there. Everybody has to have a couple of quirks, right? Cursed items, bag of devouring, boots of dancing. Relics, which I guess are, different from artifacts. Let's see here. What else we got here? Megaflora, Essence Prism. Gems and art objects. There you go. Afflictions, which are more curses. Afflictions strike creatures with potent and often escalating results, you think? What is that? An Aarakocra from old Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition? Building worlds, of course. I mean, you can really get into that sort of thing. It's always, nation stat block. That's kind of cool. Pretty handy. I mean, even if you're designing something for some other system, that's kind of a nice thing to have. How did they do it? So how would you set up your country or nation or culture, as it were? With the obviously in a nation you could have any number of cultures. Got a whole thing about planes, victory points. Influence, of course. Chases. So you gotta, how do you roll a chase? Do you catch them or not? Or do you escape or not? Reputation. Leadership, of course. Running Hexploration. Designing a Hexploration map. Piloting vehicles and a selection of vehicles, of course. Ability score variance. So other ways instead of rolling dice for your abilities. Events are always cool. In your childhood, in your deep backgrounds is always kind of nice. Back in the day, I had written something in BASIC or QBasic or something like that to generate, using some of the Rolemaster stuff to generate backgrounds, and it was kind of an interesting way to quickly fill out, an NPC or something like that. Got your speaking of NPCs, you got your stat blocks for those sort of things. It's almost like every character is a class, which, is possible, I suppose. But, how do you have a 40th level, how do you have a 40th level farmer? He's really good at farming. While he's eating breakfast, he's already milked the cows. Lots of NPCs here, matter of fact. So I'm assuming that Pathfinder has a separate book for monsters and things like that. I'll have to see if I can find it. Villains, of course, Saboteur, the Anti-Paladin. Gang leaders, reckless scientists. And at the back, a nice glossary and index. So in general, I would say that, yeah, you could, if you have not, been a game master before, this would be a, nice thing to have to give you ideas and things like that. The charts are obviously handy. Some of the background stuff is, obviously handy. You can, roll your own. But a lot of people, when they start out, I remember back in the day, you had Greyhawk for D&D and everything like that, and that was really great because, there was a lot of stuff for Greyhawk, Oerth, as it were. But that's because, Gary Gygax was the one pushing it. He owned the game pretty much, and, he he could get them to put out all sorts of stuff for that setting. So, you know, it was pretty complete. But, you know, a lot of people are going to want to do their own thing as far as it goes with campaigns and stuff. So, but at least this gives you a pretty good idea to where to start and what to do and get you thinking about your campaign. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Hope you like what you see. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll catch you on the flip side.